that was earned. You know what I'm saying? I worked for that.
Yeah.
Like.
Alright, vamos. Welcome to episode 6 of Hear Me and Beer Me. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, like the video. Today, I am joined by a very special guest. You may have seen him around. You may have had a crazy night jamming to some of his sets. You gotta hear him. You gotta beer him. Give it up for DJ Fito.
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing, man? Appreciate
What's
you
up,
having
man?
me on the show, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, bro, for coming on, dude. So, you're actually my first kind of... I was telling you right now, you were talking about who's came on.
Yeah.
I think you're my first real guest, though. Because you're really... Okay. No offense, guys. No offense.
No offense, Edwin.
You're my first real guest because I for real don't know you. Like, we've never talked.
Yeah.
But, dude, like, we just talked for, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've known each other for a while now, you know? like you're one of those people, and I love people like that you just, right off the bat, you were calling me on Instagram. Like, you can call on Instagram? Like, you know?
Yeah, man. Hey, even though I got lost coming over here.
Yeah.
It's all right. Yeah.
You got to tell them the story of you going to know.
Okay, so y'all want to hear a funny story. So, all right. So, I don't, like we said, we don't really know each other like that. So, this is kind of like something new, right? So, he sends me the address. You know, he dropped the addy on Instagram. And I was like, all right, bet. Let's see what he's trying to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Nah, just kidding. But, so he hits me up, right? So, I'm like, all right, bet. So, he sends me the address. But when I try to open it, on maps or whatever, it, send me to, a random house, right? So, I hit him up on Instagram because I didn't have your numbers at the time. I was just like, all right. I said, I'm here. And then he was like, bet. I'm like, it's a blue house, right? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I literally get off. I go up to the house or whatever, knock on the door. Little girl answers the door. And literally I'm just like, oh, I'm here for this, whatever, this and that. There was a lady inside cooking. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this is it, right? Bro, I'm literally, my shoes are off. I'm sitting at the dinner table already. I'm like, they're like, this isn't even the house, bro.
Hey, you know this guy in here?
Yeah, I'm here for a podcast. And they're like, no, nomás hay enchiladas.
Aquí no hay podcast. Aquí puros enchiladas.
Aquí puro chicken nuggets, bro. I know, right? So I was like, damn. I had to put my shoes on and everything. I called this guy. I'm like, yo, I'm at the wrong blue house, bro.
You had to put the plate back? You're like,
so I had to wash my dish on my way out. I was like, man.
Bro.
Oh, man. That was a funny way to meet this guy so far today. So.
Yeah, dude. Because when you called me, you sounded like, hey, dude, I think it took me to the wrong place. And because you called me twice. So the first time I was like, dang, ya se tardó, did he say fuck this, I'm out, because you sounded like you're outside. But yeah, dude, I said, bro, that's as soon as you came in, it was that energy, and I'm like, man, this guy's cool. We've never talked before, you know.
I've been trying to, man. That's one thing, bro. I get a lot of people that obviously throughout my career or whatever, people always tell me dude, you're one of the most humblest person I've ever met. For being who, what, and I don't want to sound like that, but for being who you are and what you do, you talk to everybody, you acknowledge everybody in the room, and I get a lot of people, and obviously I can't believe them because half the people that I talk to, they're drunk, you know what I'm saying? Because I work in the night.
Yeah, exactly.
So they tell you all kinds of stuff, but I always get people that they're like, bro, you're just your energy's high, you just make everybody feel good, you got a good vibe, this and that. I had this one girl one time, I thought it was weird, but she was like, oh, I was watching you tonight. And I was just like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, that's what's up. I appreciate it. And she's just like, no, she goes, I read cards. And she goes, your energy is so beautiful. And I'm just like, I don't know if I should be scared or what, but you know what I'm saying?
Who sent you?
I know. I'm like, damn, who you been talking to? But yeah, man, no, I try, man. I be trying to keep the energy up, man. I try to make people feel good. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I won't go too deep yet. I know you got a, you got a little line of questions.
No, bro, not even. This is just a conversation, really to get to know you. And I mean, we've been talking for a while now. Yeah. But so you mentioned a few things, right? Mm-hmm. That I didn't know, that I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And on that note of really getting to know you, I'm sure a lot of people are the same. And this is what kind of, you asked me what the main thing or focus of this is. It's really to get people on here for people to get to know them. I was even talking to my girl. I'm like, is his real name Fito? And then she's like, maybe that's just his nickname.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I think that's a real name, like Fito Olivares, you know?
Yeah, Fito Olivares.
Yeah, right. So I was like...
funny story. I actually met Fito Olivares, and I got a picture with him before he passed away.
Oh, bro, I was about to say that. Didn't you
I actually met him. So actually to get into that, there's so many people that been for years trying to figure out what my real name is. My real name is not Fito.
No way, bro. Yeah. Mind blown, dude.
Ever since I was a baby, that was my nickname. Like my aunt actually, shout out to my tia Lisa. She actually is the one who gave me that nickname. And it comes, I don't want to say, because I can't say my real name, but so I still keep that a secret.
It's been wow! Years and years. No breaking news today.
Man, I refuse to say it, but there is some people that do know my real name. But even in school, bro, like I mean, if you look at like my work badges from work, they even say Fito, bro. Like everything. I remember when I started my job. This was like over 10 years ago. The job that I was working at. When I first set up like all my stuff for like even for like my payroll and all that stuff, I had to get my check sent back because they sent it in as Fito, and they were like, "Oh, we didn't know that wasn't your real name." And I was
wow!
Like, yeah, I'm like, that's my nickname. But as a baby, man, that was always my name. And then it was funny because when obviously we'll talk about this more, but like when I started DJing. I always wanted like a cool DJ name, and I was like, oh, I had all these ideas of DJ this, DJ that, whatever. And then it got to the point where I'm like, people are like, everybody just knows you by Fito though. Like,
might as
but
well
I was like,
but
I don't like the name Fito. Like, it doesn't sound cool. Like, it's funny. My original like name that I really wanted was like DJ Casanova. That was like my go-to name that I liked. But that's because when I was in high school, some of the security guards, they used to call me Casanova. They used to be like, oh, Casanova. Like, they used to say I was always like flirting with the girls or whatever, which that's not true. But by the way, if my girl's watching,
straight lies.
They're lying on me right now. but yeah, man. So like, I was always like, I like the name, but then when I started like looking it up, like there was already like a bunch of DJ Casanovas in New York and all this stuff. So I'm just like, man, so it took a while to really like look for my name and try to like see what I wanted to do. And then eventually I'm just like, man, you know what? I'm like, man, Fito, like that's what everybody knows me by. Like it will throw people off like if I switched it up or whatever. So I ended up just going with that, and I didn't think it was gonna go to the level where it went. I thought it was just gonna be just me having fun, doing parties for like friends at school and things like that. But yeah, man, thank God, man, it became a career. So
yeah, and I mean, bro, because you've been doing this forever. You're older than me, so yeah, I was young. Yeah. I remember like middle school, like maybe even elementary school. Start to like hear your name, like I didn't know you even till now, right?
It's crazy, but believe it or not, I've actually October 31st next month will be 22 years that I've been DJing.
22, that's crazy. Do you remember your first gig? Like
actually, it's funny. My first official gig, I guess you could say.
Oh, it was Halloween, huh?
It was Halloween, yeah. Okay. But it was I did it for. It's gonna sound funny. I did it for actually. I don't know if you know, like the indoor, the soccer teams or whatever from the indoor that play, like the kids. I did it for like a little, it was like
the pizza party type thing?
Yeah, but it wasn't even a pizza party. So it was one of the soccer teams. Basically, they threw a Halloween party like at their house or something. And I want to say my brother was playing soccer for them. It was like U8 or U7 or something. I don't remember what it was. But basically, he was playing soccer. And actually that wasn't the first party. That was my first official party by myself. So this is how it went. I started with this guy in 2001. He had like a sonido. So like he had like this big, like, all this, he would do quinceañeras and all that stuff. They owned a store. It was like a quinceañera store on Glen, Florida. It was called Mac and Priscilla's. So they used to do like a package where you'll get like the tuxedos and all the quinceañera stuff or whatever.
All right.
And then they had the DJ included in the package. So the guy used to DJ, right? So my older brother at the time, he had a friend that he used to play soccer with. He would always come over the house, but he would always tell us like, oh yeah, I DJ with my uncle, like I'm a DJ, whatever. And I've always was fascinated by music all the time. So like I was like, man, one day I was like, man, I would always like try to be like the little brother that was like trying to like get info, and my brother would be like, man, get away from us, like, you're the little brother,
Yeah.
So one day his friend was like, man, if you're really interested, like you can come with us one day, whatever. And I started going with them to do gigs or whatever. And the uncle eventually he talked to, his name was Israel Gonzalez, man, I'll remember that man to this day. He lives in Mexico now, but he I remember he offered me like for me to go with them. He was like, yeah, if you want to come, you can come see what it is and all this and that. I was like, all right, cool. So I was like, yeah, I'll go. But I was little. I was like 11. So he was like, well, ask your parents if it's okay, whatever. So eventually my parents ended up like talking to the guy, and they gave him like the okay. They're like, yeah, we'll bring him, like, but we're going to stay with him type stuff, just because honestly I was 11, bro. Like I wasn't like, I was a little kid. So I went one day, and then he invited me again, and I just started going with them. Then eventually my brother's friend, I stayed with him from 2001 till 2006. So it was like 5 years I did with that guy that I was just with him, because eventually my brother's friend ended up leaving off to college. So he was like, we need to leave it to somebody. So we need somebody to kind of like take over my spot. And I was like, man, that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So finally they started training me. And this man, bro, like he showed me, I don't want to say he showed me how to DJ, because he was like a sonidero. So I don't know if you know what a sonidero is, but like they're more like they talk, they put a song, they turn it off, they talk. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like mixing and blending, So, he would do a lot of like baptisms, quinceañeras, all private stuff, right? But this man really showed me like the whole business aspect of it. Like he showed me like how to talk to customers, how to treat people, how to set up like a schedule of how to do a party, how to like know when's the right time to put certain music, when's the right time to like make sure that you're switching things off, like, how to talk on the microphone. And that was another thing. I wasn't big into Spanish. Like I didn't speak Spanish like that. You know what I'm saying? And like this man was like, all the announcements, everything's in Spanish. Like when you're announcing the vals and the first dance and all this stuff.
I love those guys.
You know what I'm saying?
I fucking love
bro.
those
So
guys.
it's like, and they sound funny because they're like up there like talking crazy, But like he would show me like the way, and like my Spanish wasn't great, but it was unique. So like it started building its own like style, and people will be like, bro, like when you talk it sounds crazy, like when you talk on the mic, like it sounds like a radio person, or stuff like that, and eventually it started catching on, and people started like, oh yeah, we seen this kid there, like at this party, he plays really good. And at that time, being 11, 12 years old, and I was DJing quinceañeras, like these girls were like, dang, like this little kid's doing my party, so it started getting popular. And then eventually it got to the point, like I said, I lasted till 2006 with this guy. In 2006, he basically was like, hey, this is another thing before I get to the 2006 mark. So my dad, his family were like, they always had like grupos, like they were into like groups, like, they, had bands all the time, right?
Okay.
So I was playing drums in high school. So he would tell me all the time, learn how to play drums so you can get in with this grupo. And at that time, kids playing drums for groups was like a big thing, so it was real popular. So he was like, you can make so much money and this and that or whatever, right? So I was like, all right. I'm like, yeah. So I remember I made my dad buy me a drum set, right? It was a Ludwig drum set. I remember this. And bro, I literally played with it for like not even like a couple days, and I just left it. I didn't touch it.
You weren't into it.
So and then I was like, all right, whatever. So I just kind of left it. So my dad was kind of upset, like, I paid all this money for this drum set, this and that. Which, I mean, I understand. I'm a parent now, so I know what it is now. But so I come back and I'm like, I want to be a DJ now. And my dad was like, you crazy, I'm not spending no more money. Like, I bought you this, you told me you want to do that, and you left it there and this and that. And then my dad would always tell me, like, man, there's no money in DJing. Like, you're never going to, like, this and that. Not that he didn't believe in me, but he just, like, was like, like, stick to this. Like, don't do that, whatever. And it's crazy because, like, I remember to this day, like, I ended up selling my drum set for less than what we paid for it. And I ended up trying to use that money to buy myself, like, my first little mixer, whatever. This and that. Bro, my dad was... Pissed, bro. So I was just like, oh my God.
Told you there's no money in that.
Chancla came out, the belt came out, had the nail at the back of the whole belt and everything. I was like, no. But yeah, man. So eventually, like, I ended up buying my own stuff, right? Like, I bought like a little thing, not even my own setup. But and then so this is when I was DJing with that guy. So cutting to 2006. This is why I wanted to kind of back that story up. So in 2006, the guy was like, hey, like, I'm getting ready to go back to Mexico, because he will work here and he will send money to his family in Mexico. That's kind of like what he would do. So he was like, I'm going to go back to Mexico. He's like, your son, like, because my dad would always tell him, like, I'm not going to buy him anything until I know that he's ready and this is what he wants to do. So my dad at first was like super against it, but then once after the years were passing, he seen I was with this guy for like 5 years. He was like, okay, he stuck to it, like, but my dad, bro, wouldn't buy me nothing. No. And I remember this guy used to pay me I used to make like $20 a night with him. And for me, at 11, 12, 13 years old,
that's a lot.
$20 was a lot.
Yeah.
So, bro, I would go to Belvedere Mall and I would buy CDs, like, because this is when CDs were out. So I would use my 20, bro. I would save money, and like every once in a while, I'll go buy a CD from the, you know, because I would have my little carpeta with like all my CDs back in the day. And this was when, obviously, you wanted a song that came out, you had to buy the CD, and they had like bunch of songs of the artist, but you want that one song, so you had to buy the whole CD. But and then eventually, this is when, like, you know, obviously like LimeWire and all that started coming out. They started making mixtapes where it had like, you know,
just all the bangers
songs and all the bangers on it. So then that's when I started buying those CDs. I was like, I bet I need this, I need that, whatever. So I started building up my little collection of CDs, and then I would use them obviously at the gigs with the guy. So, you know, with time, I was saving little money. I was buying little CDs and this and that. I was building myself, you know. And the guy, he basically told my dad, like, hey, I'm getting ready to go to Mexico. He's like, he's ready. He's like, but I want to leave him like 2 gigs that I have for him to do by himself to make like that whole check. And in my head, I was like, damn, like I'm going to make, you know, good money because he's leaving me 2 gigs. So I'm like, all right, cool. So my dad was like, okay, he's ready, then we'll go invest. But he was like, he asked the guy, like, would you come with us to let us know, like, what's the good stuff to purchase and what's, you know, whatever. So I remember when we first went, man, we bought 2 speakers and we bought like 2 little lights, and I already had my little turntable set up because I had bought that from, you know, my drum set money. But yeah, man. So we get on, man, and we go to the store. I end up buying my first set of speakers. Boy, I felt like I was the coolest person in the world, bro. Like, I was like, damn, I'm set. I got all this
ready
stuff,
to use them,
bro. And it's crazy because my dad would always tell me, what do you say, how do you say lo caro vale? No, lo barato
sale caro.
Sale caro. Yeah. Basically saying, like, you buy cheap stuff, it's gonna break on you. You're gonna have to buy it again. You know, this and that. So might as well invest in like good stuff and then whatever. So that's one thing that I was always definitely like known for. Like, I always had good equipment. I always, you know what I'm saying, I would always pay top dollar for stuff. And so I started doing those parties. Right, he left me those parties. From there, I just made little cards and started handing myself out, whatever, this and that. And from 2006, that's actually when I did the party for the soccer team in 2006. So that was my first kind of like alone party, I guess you could say.
Okay, without the guy, like on your own.
Because I did his gigs, but and then my first one that I got by myself and all that was that soccer party, which was for like a little, it was a little soccer team. But it was crazy because they did it like at their house, like the coach did it and invited all the parents with the kids or whatever.
Okay.
So it was a Halloween party, and I remember, bro, like I think I charged them like, at that time it was like $100. I think I charged them for me to come DJ, right? And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I just wanted to get gigs. I wanted to be known. Like, you know, there was so many events that obviously I did for free, bro, because it was just like trying to get your name out, you know?
Yeah.
But I remember that was like my first official, like, by myself paid gig. And I charged them like $100, bro. I swear to you, I was there for like 3 days. Like, I DJ'd from like, I got there at like 7 o'clock and I was DJing. It was like 7 in the morning already. And I was still there. Like, I was just like, dang, bro. Like, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it felt like I was there forever, bro.
Yeah,
but I was
especially
like,
your first time.
Yeah, and I'm just like, man. And now it's like, I ain't DJing that many hours no more. But it's like now it got to the point, obviously, where I'm able to say what I want to do, say how many hours I want to play. You know what I'm saying? I put my price and everything, you know? And I mean, that's a blessing too, you know, like I said, to be able to be in that position and do what it is that I do now. But yeah, bro, that's basically how I got started. And then from there, I just started building. I got real popular with like quinceañeras because everybody that was at that time, I was already 16. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, so like, you knew all the people having the quinceañera.
Bro, I was doing every quinceañera because every girl wanted me at her quinceañera, bro. Like, and then I would have like people that would call me and they'll be like, oh, like they already knew. Like if I was doing their quinceañera, that's it. Like this is, you have the main guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that, and that's how I was at that time, you know? And it's crazy because I would like charge and then I would have like, you know, girls at school be like, oh, well, he's doing my quinceañera. Then, you know, you have the girls that will do the quinceañera on the same day as the other one just to like make her mad. And she'll be like, oh, well, they call their dad like, hey, she has him. I need that DJ. So now that dad will call me and say, hey, you know what? How much do I have to pay you more to get you to cancel that gig and come over here?
15-year-olds dads fighting over you, bro.
It was it was wild. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I will get people all day, bro, that will call me, oh, we'll pay you double, or oh, we'll pay you more to cancel them and come over here to my daughter's quinceañera. Because, you know, girls, whatever they tell their dad is like, oh, no, like, I need that. And the dads are going to do what they got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, but that's one thing that I always said, like, I don't care. Not that I don't care about the money, but like I would never screw one of my clients over for extra money. You know what I'm saying? Like if I give you my
if
word,
you already agreed,
if I
like,
agreed and we got a contract and I give you my word, like I'm gonna be there. And that's one thing that I will get a lot of people that were scared. Like they'll be like, bro, are you gonna show up? Because they will hear like, oh well, they're trying to get him to go somewhere else. Or, you know what I'm saying? I remember one night I did this was obviously years and years ago, because I've been doing this for 22 years now, but this is probably like at least like 12, 13, 14 years ago. I remember I did a quinceañera at San Jose, San Luis, and Sundance.
All in one night?
All in one night.
Oof.
Bro, they drove me from this one to that one to that one. And it's crazy because like literally like put you in a car, they drop you off, they tell you, okay, it's set up, you walk in, they put you on stage, you play, they bring you down, they put you in the car, you go to the next one, you know what I'm saying? And imagine being, 15, 16, 17 years old and you're being moved around like that, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people that like, I will get moved around by like, obviously like friends of mine, like I will have friends that be like, all right, bro, like we'll have one person that will go in, check the venue, make sure everything was good and make sure like everything was, set for me to walk in. I'll go, and it was crazy, bro, because it was like, not to compare it, but it's like kind of like mini celebrity style, you know what I'm saying? Like, same thing like when I got older, like when I was doing bars and clubs and I started getting into the club scene. Same thing, bro. It's like walking into, going through the alleys, going through back doors.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, and if like say they're having like a grupo or whatever, and then you're going before them.
Yeah.
Like you even get to see them, and you guys kind of have this like artist kind of thing going.
It's crazy, bro. Like doing big venues like that. Like when you go to like, obviously like when you play at places like, the Sundance when they were doing their concerts, when you do like the Eagles Club in Milwaukee, when you do like big venues, bro. Like it's nuts. Like even Milwaukee, bro. Like when you get there, like people don't see the background of everything, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're going into like these tunnels and going through back stairs and you're in green rooms with like artists and all that stuff, bro. Like it's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience.
But you enjoy that, right?
Oh yeah, I love it, man.
And dude, I mean, like you was telling me what you did. You fucking grinded, bro, because putting all that like what you said, getting a CD and having to take that one CD and that one song and put it, for your set, just that one song. And then being 11, dude, like you could have been out like just like playing soccer,
and,
whatever.
Yeah, bro, and that's the thing. It's funny because like I tell people all the time, like I'm like, dude, because people be like, oh man, like bro, you have this or you have all this stuff or whatever, and I'm like, dude, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for everything that I have, but there's so much of my childhood that I missed because I was working. You know what I'm saying? I sacrificed, bro. Yeah. And it's like, and like I tell people, I'm like, dude, those Friday nights, those Saturday nights, like people were like at the mall with their friends or at the movies and this and that, bro. I was out working. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I didn't get to see those teenage years. And it was crazy because I remember I started DJing in clubs, 21 and older clubs, when I was like, I think I was 15 when I started DJing like in clubs. And it's crazy because like, you see and you experience all those things. So like by the time you get to the age of 21, it's like, bro,
like you already been in there, done it,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, it's like I said, it's I'm blessed to see like what I've seen and be where I've been at, and like to meet the people that I've met. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many, like I mean, everything from like people to celebrities to radio people to everything, bro. Like like, or even just like being out, like even now as being an adult. Like you said, like you were younger hearing my name, like, oh yeah, I heard of this guy before, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, when I tell you, like, I've gone through like at least 3 generations of club goers. So like I've had people that are now, obviously like, because when I started, I was young. So
yeah, even in their 40s.
So like so I had that group, and then now it's like I had their kids, and now I'm having like their kids, that are like now 21. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, bro, to see like all those people coming through. And it's funny because I have friends that are older than me. Because like when I was coming up, I was hanging out with all older people. So like I have friends that are older than me that I'll post like a snap or something, and they'll be like, yo, my daughter's there tonight, like, keep an eye out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like,
crazy,
I got you.
you're like LeBron. You know how he's playing like people's kids now, like people he played against playing their kids.
It's funny because like people always tell me they're like, dude, they're like, you've been around forever, and like even that, like I tell people like I just had a birthday, man, and I'm like, it's crazy to see the the age that, and I'm a type of person that I don't care about telling my age. So I turned 34 yesterday, man. And it
was yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday was my birthday.
Shit. Happy belated,
so
bro.
Thank you. So if anybody wants to send any gifts, just send it to the
send it to this address, the blue house, but
not the lady with the
not the little girl. I was gonna ask you, like, doing all that, and you said you were sacrificing when you were younger, and even now you're probably still like sacrificing to an extent.
Yeah.
How is that with like your family, right? Like with your kids, with your wife.
Okay, so at first it's crazy because so when I first got with my girl, I've been with my girl for 14 years now, almost. Mm-hmm. She actually, it's funny because I was really popular at the time, like back in the day when I was DJing, but it was so funny because she actually didn't even know that I was a DJ. Like when I met her, like we just started, we went out on a date. Like I didn't want her to know who I was, because I would meet girls like at the parties when I was DJing and all this stuff, and I would always get girls like, hey, what's up, like try to talk or whatever. And I mean, because I'm fine as hell, No, I'm just kidding. But I would get girls all the time. But it's just because of who I was, my popularity that I had, and
show your personality, bro.
Yeah,
just like
bro,
you're
so it's
talking
like
and all that.
And that's one thing, bro. Like I mean, I own it. Like I've been big all my life. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was like 7, I probably weighed like 400 pounds already. But I'm just kidding. But like you said, my personality, like that stuff that girls will be like, oh, he's cool, like he's funny, and stuff like that. So I would get girls all the time to like hit me up, oh, this and that. But like in my head, I was always like, okay, I don't want to talk to a girl that I meet, like
who wants me for who I am,
yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, for who I am,
for what I do, basically.
Yeah, right.
Like, so I was just like, all right, cool. So when I met this girl, being my wife, I was always like, man, like like I want to take her away from here where nobody knows me. You know what I'm saying? But she went to Waukegan too. So well, not too, because I went to North Chicago technically. I went to Waukegan and North Chicago. But so when I met her, it was funny because we went out, and then I want to say we had a time where I wasn't able to make it to something, and I was just like, oh no, whatever. And then she was like, it came around where she was just like, it's crazy because I would hear about you in my school, and I would see your flyers always everywhere and your name. She goes, but I never put it together that was you. You know what I'm saying? So when she found out after, I was like, yeah, like, okay, the secret's out. Like, I am that person.
Cat's out the bag. Yeah, that's me. It's
so
me.
I was just like, yeah, it's me. You know what I'm saying? And then she was just like, damn, like that makes sense now. It's crazy. And she was like, why would you never want me to know that? And I was just like, not that I don't want you to know that. It's just that I just prefer to talk to somebody who knew me outside of that. You know what I'm saying? That just like, I don't know if I'm making sense, but basically,
no, bro, perfect sense.
So I was just like, all right, I feel more comfortable like doing it that way, because it's like I know you're not like, because a lot of people be like, oh, well, they're not that I'm rich or nothing, but like, oh, well, they do it for the money or because of the fame or because of like what you have. They're trying to talk to you because of this and that. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, I know it's because of my good looks. But,
I think that's the main thing. It's the looks.
I've had this beard since I was like in 4th grade. But yeah, so it was nice. When I first started talking to her.
That's why they let you DJ when you were 11. You had the beard.
I had the beard already.
They're like, nah, he's 18.
They said, oh no. They're like, that's one of the old fellas. He's good.
You seen that one movie that's like that guy that he's trying to play like baseball or something, and it's like I am 12.
Oh yeah, bench warmers.
Yeah, is it bench warmers? Yeah.
You open the paper and there's a picture.
Yeah,
and it says I am 12.
Yeah,
like,
with like a $20 bill or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But yeah, that was me, bro, walking up to the club like, like, let me see your ID, and like showing that paper.
You were the opposite though. You were trying to be older. He was trying to be younger.
For real. But yeah, man. So that's like I said. That's how I I started talking to my girl, and then we right away, bro. It was crazy. Like because I met her, she was like 18, 19, and I was like 19, 20, I want to say.
Okay.
And this was like coming out of high school, like when we were getting out, and yeah, bro, it was so weird. And then right away, we got together, and then we actually had a kid right away, like, because I have a 13-year-old. He'll be 13 next week, and so yeah, that's another thing. Like a lot of people always ask me, like, they want to know about my personal life. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't know things about me like that, and I try to keep things, not that I want to keep a secret, but I try to keep things as separate as possible.
Or separate at least, right?
You know what I'm saying? Because like it gives people the como se dice, like the mystery about you. So like, for example, like when I go do a show, like I'll DJ, and a lot of people always be like, oh, like how come like you don't kick it, or you don't stick around and talk to people, or you don't like be like you don't go out after and go places with us, whatever. And I'm like I would love to, but at the same time, like it gives that mystery of when people see you, they're excited to see you because they go, oh, they're like, damn, like he's here, you know what I'm saying? And it's the presence of that you bring into a room, you know what I'm saying? And actually I had a conversation about that with my guy Flacco. I don't know if you know DJ Flacco. He's from here too. He's from Waukegan, very very well known guy. Yeah. And we've had conversations, and and I tell him the same thing. I'm like, it's the mystery behind the person. Like they're just like, damn, like like you don't really be out here. Just like it's not like I get off the turntables and I go sit at the bar and I start drinking with people and I start, you know what I'm saying? Like like we move, like you get done.
Yeah, next spot, like you said.
You know what I'm saying? Like so people are like, damn, like who is this person? You know what I'm saying? And I think it's fun to keep the mystery of a person like that, because you're just like, people want to know more. Like being a DJ, it's great, but it's like it's fun, but at the same time it can get dark. It can get depressing sometimes. That's one thing that you got to be strong with it too, because it's like I look at it sometimes and I love what I do, because like I tell people like there's dark to it and there's obviously like happy to it, right? So like you got to view it in a different aspect. So sometimes, like for example, like people tell me like, what's the best part about your job? And I'm like, okay. They're like, oh, is it the girls? Is it the alcohol? Is it this, whatever? And I'm like, no. I'm like, it's great to see people out having a good time, but like I always compare us to, we're basically the therapists that don't talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because people come to you, they come to this room where you're at, and they want to forget about life for a couple hours. They wanna get whatever stress they've been having all week. Could be their kids, could be work, could be the baby daddy, baby mama, it could be their parents, whatever they've been going through all week. They want to go unwind, and what we play determines how their night is. You know what I'm saying? So we're that therapist that doesn't talk to you. We could make you feel a certain type of way without saying anything to you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's what I tell people all the time. I'm like, that's what I love about my job. I could make a group of girls cry. I could make a group of girls like scream. I could make, you know what I'm saying? Like, depending on what I play. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're going through something, if they're feeling something, and vice versa is the opposite. It's funny because I had somebody one time that they were like, I was going through a situation in my life, and I went to do my regular routine, what I usually play, and they were like, bro, they're like, you good, bro? Like you were playing like sad songs tonight, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. But in the back of my mind, I was going through something that was more dark at that time. Yeah. And I caught myself, and I was like, damn, like I really was playing for myself tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you didn't even realize it in the moment.
You're doing it, you know what I'm saying? And man, bro, it's like, it's crazy, like, to think about it in that way. And there's been times where I've thought about it in a dark aspect too, where I'm just like, I would tell myself sometimes, like, what am I doing this for? Like, am I doing this for me, or am I doing this for them? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this really benefiting my life, or is it benefiting their life? You know what I'm saying? Like, speaking as the consumer to the person who's there to work for you, right? And there was a point in my life where I would see it negative too, where I'm like, damn, like, I would feel like basically it was like, how do you say this in a I don't want to sound like too crazy, but like a circus. So like people pay money to come see this person, this animal, like perform in a box.
Yeah, you felt like you were the animal.
I felt like I was that person. Okay. I would come and I would just sit here, and people would come and just watch me, and they would be like, oh yeah, whatever. And then at the end of the night, the curtain closes and everybody goes home, and that's just you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's times when like your mind can play tricks on you, man. There's times where if you're not strong, bro, like this can get dark. It can get depressing. Like I said, when people say, and I don't want to make it sound like that, but like when they say the terminology, like it gets lonely at the top, that's true, bro. Like there's times when like you go home and that ride home by yourself, sometimes you're just like, damn, all these people know me and everybody rocks with me and they tell you how much they love you and all this and this and that. But you go home and nobody's reaching out to you, nobody's texting you, nobody's like, well, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like I said, and I mean, and I do love like all my followers that really do follow me, because I get people that do check up on me all the time. Hey bro, how you doing? Oh hey, you know what? We're gonna be at this weekend, or we're gonna pull up on you, or like just recently, for my birthday, like every year, bro, like people are always like, they get excited for like the birthday weekend because they're like, bro, every year when it's your birthday, like it gets crazy at the bars, like, you know, this and that. This year I chose to like not go as hard because I actually just quit drinking. So like I don't drink alcohol. So it's like last year, nuts, bro. Like the clubs were like ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, this year I took a different route with it. But I mean, we still had a packed house, you know, all weekend, you know, everywhere we went. But yeah, man, like I said, it's just like you get those people that really mess with you, and there's people that tell you straight up, like, bro, like, we only come out because you're here. Like, okay, no disrespect to any other DJs, but like, you're the main one that we like, or, you know, and then you get people that prefer other DJs, you know what I'm saying? And that's something that I tell people, you can't get upset about that because everybody has their own style. Everybody has what they prefer, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I used to do a lot of weddings, quinceañeras, all that stuff. I stopped doing them about 2 years ago. I officially went strictly just bars and clubs. But that was because I made the decision because my kids were getting older. So the thing is, like, it's really good money doing like weddings and quinceañeras and all that stuff. But you imagine like a party, let's say a quinceañera goes from like 6 o'clock till midnight, right? 6 hours. Just to set up, it takes us about 2 hours to set up our rig, right? So that means we got to be there by 4. That means we got to load in at like 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? So let's say we get our day started at like 2 o'clock. It's over at 12, but we still got to break down.
Take everything down.
Take everything back. So by the time we're ready, it's already 2 o'clock, like 2 o'clock in the morning. So that 6-hour package is basically a 12-hour day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gone by midday, and I don't come back till the next day in the morning.
Yeah, till they're sleeping already. Yeah.
By the time I wake up, it's already, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was taking so much of my life away and my kids' time away. And I started to realize that, man, you know, it's like, yeah, it was good money, but at the same time, like, I could still make good money and still work it where I could spend all day with my kids. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, especially with my oldest son, man, like, the first, like, I don't know, let's say maybe the first 7 years, 8 years of his life, he spent his childhood at gigs. Like, Friday, Saturday came around, he would come with us to the gigs. Like, he would just be sitting backstage. Bro, my son literally, and it's hard, but it's like, it's reality, bro. Like, my son, you know, he literally would like set up. I remember this, bro. He would like, I'll be performing and I would turn around and I would see my kid like sitting backstage, like behind the curtain or whatever. And he would build like a little fort out of boxes, like from like cases from like the speakers and all that stuff.
Like playing.
Yeah, bro.
Around.
He'll have toys in there. He'll have an iPad, and that's how he would spend his nights. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what it was. And it got to the point where, you know, I told my girl, I'm like, I can't keep doing that to him. Like, it's not fair for him to waste his childhood, you know, because I gotta work. I gotta be DJing, you know, this and that. And, you know, I told my girl, I'm like, this money, I can make this money no matter what. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's like, I was blessed with a talent and I was blessed to have what I have, but I can do it without having to do all that. You know what I'm saying? And to this day, I mean, bro, I've invested over $100,000 in just equipment, you know what I'm saying? Like, for parties and all that stuff. So it's like, we have the equipment's still there. So like, sometimes we'll rent, like, to other DJs, we'll rent equipment. So the business still works for itself. Like, you know, like, we'll get DJs that hit me up, hey bro, I need speakers, I need lights, I need this, whatever. And we'll do rentals. Like, you know, we're still making money off it. We're not doing nothing. We're literally just
lending it out,
drop it off, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And then, but now I DJ like just straight bars and clubs, but it's like, I don't get there till 10, 11, sometimes midnight. And, you know, by that time, my kids are already asleep. I spent the whole day with them. I don't have to carry anything. Now I just show up with my computer, plug in my computer, and I play and I leave. You know what I'm saying? So by the time I leave the house, it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. My kids are already in bed. By the time I come back, they're still asleep, so they don't even realize I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now that's where it got to the point where now I'm like, okay, I'm enjoying myself now, because I'm able to do stuff during the day.
Yeah, spend time with them.
My kids, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I have 3 kids, bro. Like, I got a he'll be 13 next week, and then I have an 8-year-old, and then I have a baby that's gonna be 2 next week, and 2 in like 3 weeks. So 2, 8, and 13. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big. Is
it all boys?
All boys. Yeah, I got all boys. I don't make girls though. They do everything, bro. Like, they play basketball, they play softball, they play soccer, they run track. My little one does boxing. Like, they do everything. You know what I'm saying? But right now they really got into soccer. I feel like soccer is real popular right now since the whole Messi thing's been going on.
Yeah.
So like, bro, in the schools, like, every kid's like, oh, Messi or Ronaldo. You like this and that. So it's like, I feel like it got real popular. And then like, my dad's a really big, I don't know if y'all, but my dad's a big America fan. Like that's like his team.
Bro, it's over.
All right, let's disconnect all this.
Yeah, bro, this is done. This is done.
It's funny, growing up, my dad was like diehard, bro, America, this and that. So now it's like, it's beautiful to see because my kids are playing soccer and my dad's like loving it because he goes to the games and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my parents be like doing all this stuff with the kids, and I'm like, bro, what about me? Like you never did that to me.
Yeah, man. you didn't let me sell my drum set, dude.
Exactly, right? I'm like, damn. But it's crazy. Grandkids will change your parents, bro. It's I'm seeing it now as I get older, and I'm like, bro, because I remember coming up, like, bro, my dad was always like macho Mexican, like, you don't like, I don't, you don't hug me, like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? And
but he's completely different with that.
Bro, now my kids be rubbing on his face and drawing on him, and he, you know what I'm saying? He's just like, bro. And I'm like, bro, I would have been whooped already. Like, I would have been in the corner crying already with belt marks on my back, like, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, it's because grandkids, you're just renting them, you know? You just rent them, and then you get a little tired, and you're like, go back with your dad.
My mom's the queen of giving them sweets, boy. She'll jack them up on candy and everything, and she'll be like, okay, we're dropping.
Yeah, like, bye. Have fun.
Yeah, man. I'll be at the door with the melatonins ready.
Here's more candy.
That is, it's been a blessing, bro. And now it's to the point where, like I said, I make my own schedule, bro. It's a blessing to be able to like move the way that I move now and do what I want. You know what I'm saying? And I basically call my own shots now. And it's like, and like I said, I mean that in the humblest way, but it's like at the same time, like this is what I work so hard for. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
I tell people all the time, like I laid out the foundation to be where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? To be able to like charge what I charge, to be able to say what I want to say. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing that that people can do to really like change that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, of course I'm not gonna be hot forever. Like I'm surprised that it's been so long and I'm still going. Because I've always told myself like, I told myself at first 10 years. I was like 10 years max you're gonna DJ for. And then I was just like, damn, it's still going. Bro, there's DJs that are crazy good that I've heard that I'm like, damn, like you guys are really good. You know what I'm saying? But I take that and I'm like, damn, now I gotta work harder. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want that person to, step on me. You know what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, I feel like nobody can take the position that I have because I worked for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people at the same time too, like people be like, oh yeah, DJ Fito, like whatever. And I'm like, look, that name technically was given by a family member to me, right? But at the end of the day, like Fito was given to me as a nickname. DJ Fito, that was earned. You know what I'm saying? I worked for that.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't something that I just said, okay, this is my DJ name, call me that, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like I put in the work.
You gave it like you put some prestige under that name.
And low key, bro, like that's like that is basically and I could say this proudly, that's a household name around here. Like where we come from, like the town that we live in. I mean, you can go generations back and people are gonna be like, damn, yeah, I remember him. Like he used to do that, and just even to be out places, bro. Like there's times when we'll go places, and like we'll go out to eat sometimes, and we're eating or whatever, and then we'll go to pay, and they'll be like, oh no, they already took care of it, don't worry about it. And I'm like, damn, like okay, like people like look out.
Yeah, someone
like,
that fuck with you or whatever.
Or like owners from like restaurants, they'll be like, no, bro, it's on the house, we got you. You know what I'm saying? Like this and that, like keep doing what you're doing, or stuff like that. And you're just like, damn, like that's real. Like you know what I'm saying? Like there's people that really like they mess with you because they mess with you. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's I take my job serious. I try to be as professional as possible. And like I said, I try to talk to everybody, bro. I try to be nice to everybody.
That's what led you to, like you said, that you sell these.
Oh yeah,
sell like sneakers and stuff.
Those are some of my investments, man. So like, a lot of people know that I'm a shoe collector, man. I collect sneakers, and at one point, man, my girl actually, she was just like, it got to the point, bro, where I think I had like almost 200 pairs of shoes, like personals, just for me. You know what I'm saying? And I would always buy, shoes every weekend. Drops were coming out. I was buying this, I was buying that, whatever. Then eventually my kids got older and they started getting into them. My son, man, he's, he goes to school, Yeezys, Jordans, all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, man, bro, if I had it like you had it, you know, in 6th grade and 7th grade and 8th grade. Like, bro, I mean, I had nice shoes like when I was in 8th grade and all that stuff too, but it wasn't like we would get like one pair of Jordans and we had to make that mug last. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
at least for like the bro, school year and shit.
And even then, like I remember going to like, you know, when I was younger, a little younger, like it was like, I don't know if you remember this, but like Shoe Carnival, it was like buy one, get one half off. Like, me and my brother had to go in there and you get one, you get the half off one, and you had to make that shit last for the year. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, you know, and I remember like now, even to this day, like it's not even a crazy shoe, but I remember as a kid, it was called the Pippin, the up tempos. They say Air on the side, like real big. So they were black with the white letters that said Air. Those were the original, like the Pippins that came out or whatever.
They have like a Supreme collab now.
Yeah, they have a Supreme one too. Yeah. So the original one, I don't remember what year it was. I don't know, it was like 96 or 98 or something. I don't know, something like that. I wanted that shoe so bad as a kid, bro. I wanted it so bad. And bro, like 3 years ago, my girl bought me that shoe for Christmas. And man, I was like, dang, was it my girl or my mom?
It was like all the nostalgia like came back,
and it was like, damn, bro. Like I remember, like as a kid, I wanted. It's like Step Brothers, you know, when they're like even better. We got it when we were 40. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not 40 by the way, but you know what I'm saying. But it was like little stuff like that I always wanted as a kid. Like now I'm buying it for myself, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like, you know, like I always wanted this growing up, but it's like just to know that you're doing it, and I mean, shout out to my parents, because like I don't want to make it seem like they didn't buy us anything, but at that time it's like they did what they did to have what we had. You know what I'm saying? Like they did what they did to keep the lights on. They did what they did to keep a roof over our head, to keep us fed, to keep us warm. You know, and I love my parents for that, because my mom and my dad are both, they're hard workers, bro. Like they worked their whole life. You know, there was a lot of times, you know, that you know, my grandma's passed now, but yeah, she used to take care of us, you know. And you know, we would always be with my grandma, and you know, my mom saying, you know, but you know, same thing, my mom, like she had to find babysitters. She had to, because she was working a job. My dad was working a job. So growing up, we really didn't have that, like at the house, being with the parents. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like 6, 7 o'clock. Everybody got home. We eat dinner. You do your homework, go to sleep. Next day, they're gone already. We go to grandma. Grandma drops us off to school. Like that's what it was growing up for us, you know. And there's like I said, I can't say anything bad about my parents, because they paid the way and they did what they had to do.
Yeah,
for us
they got you,
future, you know what I'm saying?
Or they at least give you the foundation to get where you are now.
And that's one thing that, you know, like my mom always says. She's like, son, you know, like you work so hard, you need to take a break. Like you're always working. I'm like, because I love working, and that's what I seen growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad was always working. He always made it do. He paid. You know, he did what he had to do to make sure that we were taken care of, and that's what I want for my kids. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like I tell my wife, like there's one thing that my kids can never say, and that's that their dad was lazy, or their dad didn't come through, or he didn't make it. You know, bro, there's times when I sleep 2 hours a night, and like I make it to the soccer games, I make it to the parent conferences, I make it to, you know, I'm DJing, I leave this show to go here, and in between I stop here because I got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always on the go. Like,
that's the thing too, though. Like, working, like, you know, working. It's cool. You're doing it for them, but to make that time still to be there for them in those moments, and I'm sure that goes a long way.
And that's why, like, just recently, man, like I said, you know, like now I stopped doing those gigs where I'm doing the night stuff. So now, like during the day, bro, like I'm with my kids all day, and like I make it to all the events. I'm always there. Everything that's going on, bro, I try to make it to things, you know. My middle child, I be feeling bad sometimes because he plays soccer on Saturdays, but his games sometimes are like 8 in the morning, and I get home at like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning from the club, bro, and I'm just like, dang, like I gotta be up in an hour and a half or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I try to make it happen when I can, bro, and especially like, you know, there's certain stuff that you know, like it's special to them, you know what I'm saying, where we don't realize that as parents sometimes, that you're just like, damn, you know, like, okay, I gotta be there because this means a lot to them. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that's soccer, bro. That's everything, dude. Because legit, shout out my dad, bro. He would go to every game. Like, it didn't matter where it was, you know, how far, how early. Mm-hmm. And when I was small, I wouldn't think of this, right? But now I do. I wonder how many times he show up, like, hungover as hell from the day before, but like I didn't think like, oh, he's probably like going through it right now. He's just we're driving 45 minutes an hour, 45 minutes. He's taking me to my game so that I could go in, fucking not score when I was wide open. Like bro, literally, and then fucking take me back home, man. You know. But it's like shit like that.
And see, and I don't realize how important that is sometimes, because like growing up, I mean, like I said, I was like 500 pounds my whole life, so like I never played sports. You know what I'm saying? I was, but I was never into sports. Like I never got into it. But also because, like I said, I started DJing at like 11, so like I never had time to do all that stuff. So I was just like, all right, cool, whatever. So like now, you know that my kids do it, they like sports. I'm gonna support them because I'm like, damn, like I never got into it, but it's important to them. So I want to make sure that I'm supporting them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, at the end of the day, I know what it's like to be supported in something that you love. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I said, at first, yeah, my dad wasn't like super supportive, but my mom was. My mom was always like, okay, if you love your son, do it. You know what I'm saying? We support you no matter what, this and that. And like now, like I think about it, I'm like, bro, like that's what it's like to be a dad, and like you love something and you want to be supported by your parent. So like I see it like, okay, if they love sports that much, like I'm gonna support them because that's what they love. You know, what I'm saying?
They want to know that I'm there for them for this.
And you know, at the end of the day, like I tell people too, like because people always tell me like, oh, don't you want your kids to DJ? No, like if they want to DJ, I'm gonna support them. If they don't want to DJ, I'm gonna support them either way.
Whatever they end up doing,
because it's what they like. You know what I'm saying? Me, I like that. I love that. Like that's what I was like passionate about. So that was my thing. I don't want them to live in my shadow either. You know what I'm saying? Like, because every time, like I said, we go places, people be like, oh, little DJ Fito, what's up? Yeah. Are you going to be a DJ like your dad? And my kids are just like, okay, you know, but they like it. But there's certain stuff that they like. For example, like one of my kids, bro, he never got into the DJing, but he used to love when we used to do like, when we did like big shows or whatever, like the programming of the lights, like being able to move lights up and down, changing their colors.
He would be into that.
Like, so he loved playing with the lights and making them change colors. And he just like, love the fact that he can push something and he can make the whole room turn this color, or he can make them everything shoot up, or you know what I'm saying. So he got into that for a while. Like after a while he stopped because obviously I stopped doing like the private stuff. But even at that, bro, like at the end of the day, like you know, the day that I'm not here no more, like we have all the stuff to make that business keep going. So if my kids eventually, if they want to make money off that, we have everything. They can keep going and they can keep the business going. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Once you start having kids, I mean, I don't know. Do you have kids?
I don't have kids. No, not yet.
So yeah, bro. So it's like, you know, once you start having kids,
changes everything,
it changes, right? Bro. It changes, man. I mean, especially when you watch birth. It's over with. You know what I watch that shit?
Yeah. Does it get any easier to watch it?
After the third one, you know what's crazy? So we had 2 naturals and 1 C-section. Bro, C-section is the worst thing you could ever see in your life. Like, it's so, like, it's crazy, bro. Like, a natural birth, and it's so crazy that we're talking about this, but a natural birth,
hey, this one's about anything.
Yeah, you talk about anything on this podcast. But a natural birth, bro, it's beautiful. Like, you know, and there's so many guys that they're like, oh, hell no, I almost passed out.
But it's like you ain't seen nothing.
Yeah, bro. So it's crazy because I remember for you know my middle child, I remember I was just like, you know, and sorry, babe, that I'm explaining the story, but to not make it too detailed, but I was there trying to support my girl, like, oh yeah, babe, you're doing great, whatever. And I remember the doctor was like, he was like, hey, he's like, Papa, he said, you wanna come on this side? And I was just like, hell yeah, I want to go on that side, bro. I went over there. Bro,
regret.
Crazy. Like, no, bro, I was like, oh shit. Like, I was watching everything. Like, I was so into it, bro. Like, I don't know crazy. What it was. And then he's just like, you know, you want to cut the umbilical cord? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, give me the scissors and this and that. And then even the umbilical cord, bro, like, you're like, I thought I was hurting my son, you know what I'm saying? He's like, no, it's not that big, man. You're all the way over here.
And you have some gaps, though, between your kids, no? Like 13, 8, and then
you know what's 2? Funny? 13, 8, and 2. And it's weird because, and this is so weird how it happened, but I have 3 boys. I'm one of 3 boys, too. I have 2 brothers. And my kids are the same age gap of me and my brothers.
No way. Yeah. That's crazy.
It's weird how it happened.
You're the middle child,
I'm the middle child, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I'm the spoiled one. It's funny. We have this. We have a group chat. My brothers and my mom, and because my dad don't have. He doesn't speak English. He doesn't like read. You know, that stuff. Whatever. So we're in a group chat with my mom, but my mom is super Americanized. So she's always sending us memes and all this shit on there, or whatever. And it's funny because we have this thing that my brothers always say that I'm the favorite child, right? Uh-huh. And I say that it's somebody else, and then my other brothers, they say that it's me or whatever. But like, they're always like, oh, you just, he's the favorite, like you guys like him more and this and that. And I mean, I know I'm the favorite child.
So it's true.
It's
so
true.
it's true.
Yeah, it's true. Of course, it's 100% true.
But touching on how, like, you've been 3 generations now that you've experienced, right?
Pretty much.
Has it been hard for you to transition from, not even generation to generation, but since you started till now, because the music landscape, like the vibes, the crowds are completely different, I'd imagine, than when you started.
Yeah, so it's crazy, man. Like, because like back in the day, bro, it's crazy. Like for example, like using reggaeton as an example, right? So old school reggaeton, like I love old school reggaeton because that's what I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? So like everything from Don Omar, Teo Calderon, Daddy Yankee, Queen, like Looney Tunes, like, you know what I'm saying? Wisin y Yandel, like those were our bangers coming up. You know what I'm saying? And now is like, obviously you got all these new guys that are out and new girls, but all the new stuff, like don't get me wrong, I like the new stuff, but like I'm not like Bad Bunny's great. Like he, obviously. People talk so much about him, like they'll be like, oh no, Bad Bunny here, whatever. But at the end of the day, bro, like that man's putting money in my pocket.
What about an old school reggaeton one?
Oh, old school, I would say my go-to for old school reggaetons is always either Dile by Don Omar or what is it, Yo Voy by Wisin y Yandel.
Oh yeah. No, that's Zanny Lennox.
Zanny Lennox. Yeah, you're right. And then, oh man, what's another one?
There's so many, bro. I have a 2000s playlist.
Like, I was gonna say there's like
I was looking at
there's Teo Calderon.
Yeah, Pa Que Retocen.
Yeah. Those are like
Down, bro. I love Down. Like you play Down anywhere, bro. Like man, like you. I feel like it's not loud enough.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I can tell you old school bangers for sure. Like off top, you know what I'm saying? The new school stuff, like I said, don't get me wrong. Like I and this is one thing, and people are probably gonna hate me for this, but I am not. I'm sorry, but girl reggaeton, it's not for me, bro.
No, like Young Miko?
G, like Young Miko, like
bro, Young Miko's different though.
Yeah,
I mean, bro.
Yeah. I hear that, but bro, like Becky G, Carol G, and all that, I can't get into it, bro. I don't know why. Like, don't get me wrong, I play her stuff, like I'll play her songs at the club, but it's not what I'm into. Like
I mean, it's not for everybody.
Yeah, you know.
Plus, it's super different too. Like reggaeton, I think like 3 years ago, girls weren't really blowing up yet because reggaeton was different. And now the way it's different, it's like girls can blow up because of the way that it's different now.
And it's weird because like even like Bad Bunny, don't get me wrong, Bad Bunny's great, whatever. What's his name? Am I saying it right? Fade. Yeah, Fade. Whatever.
I got his shirt on.
There you go. He's bangers. Like he's bangers.
Yeah, he does that banger.
At first, he's like, look at the shirt.
Like, man,
at first, it's funny. I wasn't into Raul Alejandro.
Yeah.
I wasn't into him at first. And then he grew on me and like his shit started like hitting. I was just like, I bet this is dope. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, there's a lot of people that I'm just like, okay, yeah, and then no, and then, whatever. But yeah, bro, there's some good reggaeton out. But like,
honestly, dude, like I'm glad you came on here because, like I said, dude, I've never talked to you. I've seen you. I don't think you've seen me, but like in a crowd of people, it's like course, whatever. But I've seen you obviously. Yeah. But I've never talked to you and I've never like had a conversation. But now I feel like, dude, I know this guy. Like
we're friends now.
Yeah, I think we are.
Walk into the door, you're like, no, that's my guy. Like we're good.
I know Fito.
We're connected now. Kind of like cousins and shit.
Yeah, like cousins. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. But yeah, bro, man, like for real though, thank you for coming on, for real, man. It's been
you having me on.
Nah, dude, it's been fucking awesome, and I think a lot of people are gonna appreciate like getting to see a different side of you.
No, for sure, man. Like I said, man, it's when we talked about doing this, it was like, I love doing things like this because it's like you said, like I said too, it's like people know you but they don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Like they see you but they don't really know the real story about you or like, what you had to go through to get to where you were at, to, the grind and, all that stuff, man. But like I said, even at that, like, bro, like we didn't really touch too much on it, but even like, doing parties, bro, back in the day, it was like we were making flyers, we were throwing flyers out everywhere.
You were grinding, dude.
Bro, when I tell you we were putting posters at like all kinds of businesses to come out to the clubs, like, bro, we would pay like the taxi drivers that would like be at the mall to put like our flyers in their little taxi when they would pick up people from the Navy base or whatever.
That's
like,
crazy,
bro,
dude.
We were putting flyers on gas stations. Like we would pull up to like McDonald's and we'll just like put flyers on the damn windows and everything, bro. Like we were everywhere.
Social media was not always a thing, right?
It was like it was chain text, like the
I remember that.
Chain text?
Yeah.
Bro, we would send text messages.
Guys, $10 at the door.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, it's like I said, we put in that work, man. At the end of the day, it's like and it's blessings, man, to like even all the guys that came up with me. Like there's so many DJs that started. Some of them, unfortunately, are not DJing no more. Some of them, are still doing it. There's only a few that are still around, But it's like the guys that really put in that work and put in that full work, man, back in the day. Shoot, man, shout out to them because they were with us the whole step of the way.
Nah, dude, it doesn't go unnoticed. Like everything, you guys sacrifice too because it's a grind and like the longevity of yours itself, bro. Like it speaks for itself,
Longevity.
Yeah, that was a big word, right? Hey, sometimes they just come out. Sometimes they just come out.
I don't know what the hell that means. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna tell my girl. I'm like, man, it was a longevity show, dog. She was like, how's the show going? It was real longevity.
It was real longevity.
Yeah, we gonna have to Google that. What does that mean?
It was longevity as fuck.
Damn, longevity. I don't even know how to spell it. I can't Google it, bro. Yeah, man. No, man. Man, that word was fire.
Man, I just had to throw it in there,
This weekend, bro, I'm gonna be at a show and I'm gonna be like, where are all my longevity people at? Bro, I'm gonna just be
bro, please shout me out, bro. Please shout me out and say longevity on the show.
Bro,
hell no, bro.
I mean, it's something.
Man, for real though, 22 plus years, bro.
Oh man,
and it deserved the word longevity.
Oh yeah, that was.
I couldn't just be like, man, you've been doing this for a minute,
Them 22 years are very longevity.
Yeah, that's the most longevity thing I've ever seen.
Till I find out what longevity means, I'm just gonna use it for everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be at the drive-thru. I'm gonna be like, yeah, give me a number 3 and put extra longevity on it, please.
They're gonna be like, sir, there's a Wendy's. Man, bro.
Oh man, but yeah.
Hey, this has been, man, for real though. This has been fucking awesome, dude. I'm telling you.
No podcast so far,
dude. This is the third time I tell you. Like, I feel like I've known you forever, bro. Because you came in here straight telling me about how you went into someone else's house, and they were like,
I don't know how I walked.
They had no longevity in there though. Nah, they had no longevity.
I was like, oh no, the longevity's off me. I gotta go. Bro, the caption of this video gotta have longevity.
Yeah, it is, bro. You know what's crazy? I don't think I know how to spell it either.
Oh, damn, we're cooked.
When you Siri.
Damn.
Oh, bro. This is like...
This is
the best note to end this longevity podcast on.
Damn, now we gotta change the name to the whole... everything, the whole
Hear
podcast.
Me and longevity.
Don't say longevity me. That's in the song.
Longevity.
Damn.
Oh,
they
man.
start searching that up. Ooh-wee. Hell no. But yeah, man, that's what's up, man. Hey, but for real, I appreciate you having me out, man. Like I said, I love doing things like this. Some people sometimes get, they get scared to like reach out and be like, oh, would you do this? I'm like, nah, bro, like, you never know, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny because I started, and I'll be completely honest, I started following, I think your IG when, I think it was Edwin that posted an episode. And I was just like, oh, and I love doing podcasts, bro. Like, I love being interviewed and talking about my life and all that stuff. So, so when I followed you, I'm like, that's pretty dope. So I watched some of his episode, and then I was just like, I'm gonna check out your channel like later on and go through it whenever I get a chance. Cause at night, bro, I love to lay down and just listen to like podcasts or listen to like
right.
And what's called and I was like, man, I'm like that's dope, I'm like, and in my mind, I told myself, I'm like, it'll be dope if he reaches out to me one day to like do the show, right? And like a week later, bro, you literally like, would just hit me up, and I was just like, damn. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, I'll do it. So low key, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of glad to come on the show. So
yeah, no, dude. Honestly, like when you follow me, cause we don't have each other anywhere else. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh man, like Fito, like let's go,
So I looked it up. Longevity. This man is a genius. I don't know what goes on in his head, but he's a genius, bro. The definition is long existence of service. So he was spot on.
Been servicing the Joaquin community for the Chicago metro area.
He said the world
for 22 plus years, bro.
I'm actually technically I'm international. So they flew me out to this was a couple years ago. They flew me out to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, to DJ out there. So
Worldwide. Hey, watch out, Pitbull. Mr. Worldwide.
I'm the next Mr. World. I'm the longevity worldwide. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Longevity.
Mr. Longevity.
This is Mr. Longevity, bro.
You know what? I might have to change my DJ name. DJ Longevity.
Then R.I.P.
That shit rings.
R.I.P. DJ Fito. This is breaking news right here.
Breaking news is happening
DJ
right now.
Longevity.
I'm about to come back like the Undertaker from the death, bro.
This is like your heel like moment and shit. Like you're turning.
This is happening, dog.
But yeah, bro. To another 22 years, man.
Appreciate it. Oh, don't say that, bro.
10. Let's give it 10, 15, 22.
Bro, I'll be like 60 years old. Hell no.
Nah.
I'm walking with a walker and a tank.
You'll be 56, bro. Can you imagine?
Oxygen, bro.
Can you imagine you being 56 at Ibiza, like DJing?
Oh no, I can't do it.
And they're like, you go to the bathroom, and the girl's like, dude, there was this creepy guy like behind me, like he was super old, like, and they're like, that's a DJ.
Yeah, but I think they have one of those guys that, you know, the guys in the club in Chicago that give you gum and spray perfume.
Bro, they're be like, I think I saw him at Walmart asking for the receipts.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. Sure. Well, thank you for coming on, bro. You guys know where to find DJ Fito Wednesday through Sunday. All over, bro. Ibiza,
me,
fucking J's.
I do Cantina, I do Ibiza, I do J's, I do Social, and then every once in a while I do other spots too. So, but yeah, just follow me, man, on whatever social media, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. DJ Fito.
DJ Fito, DJ Longevity.
That's right.
Right here.
Longevity.
All right, thank you guys. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, leave a comment, follow DJ Fito, follow him to wherever he's at. And in 20 years, he'll be giving you gum in the bathroom.
That's right. Hey, hold on. We're going to pause for like 3 seconds while y'all hit the subscribe button.
Oh.
1, 1,000.
We got
2,
time.
1,000.
Hit it.
3, 1,000.
Come on.
It's right. Where's it at on that side?
What? The subscribe? We'll put it like right here. We'll put it right here. We'll put it right here.
We need a thumbnail anyways. For real, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to my guy, man. This is No Podcast. Like I said, I appreciate you having me on.
Appreciate you coming on.
I guess we can get up out of here.
Yeah, we can roll out.
Cool,
Thank you guys. Thank you, bro.
Don't forget to subscribe, man.
Yeah, take us out, bro. Take us out.
In Spanish? Nah, let's get.
Yeah.
Nah. Let's excited. All right, man. Make sure you guys, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Make sure you guys keep following for more content, man. We'll see y'all soon, man. Once again, man, my name is DJ Fito, man. I had a ball today. I appreciate it. And, maybe I'll get invited for another episode.
I hope so, bro. Because I feel like we have so much left.
Yeah, man. There's still so much. We literally didn't touch up. But I ain't gonna lie. Every time I do like a podcast or a show with somebody, we'll get through like an hour, 2 hours of episode, and they're just like, bro, we didn't even talk about everything I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, no, there's so much,
There's so much more to life, bro. Like I said, it's 22 longevity years, bro. There's so much more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
we only touched on like the first two. The first two longevity.
2 years into the year. All right, man. Appreciate you guys, man. See y'all next time.